For those of you I haven't had the chance to meet personally, my name is Nivea Torres. I'm the Interim Superintendent of Schools, and it is an honor and a privilege for me to welcome you to the ceremonial groundbreaking for J.M. Wright Technical High School. I would like to first acknowledge some of our distinguished guests. Governor Malloy, thank you for joining us today and for your continued support of the technical high school system and for joining our efforts to impact workforce development across the state. Thank you, sir. Welcome to Commissioner Pryor. Thank you for your leadership. Welcome to Chairman Terfry, Chairman of our board. Mr. Fitzwalker, Technical High School Board member. I also want to acknowledge and recognize members of the legislative branch, Senator Scott Frank, Senator Carlo Leone, Representative Patricia Miller, Deputy Speaker of the House, Representative Libby Florin, Representative Gerald Fox, Representative Michael Malgano, Representative William Tong, who sends his best wishes and could not be here with us today. I also want to welcome former Lieutenant Governor Michael Fedeli, who also served on the J.M. Wright Advisory Committee. Thank you all for joining us. I want to welcome local friends of Wright Tech, including members of the Wright Tech Advisory Committee, Jack Conlon, President and CEO of the Stamford Chamber of Commerce, Alison Severino, and Chris Buell, President of the Fairfield Business Council. I also want to acknowledge Dr. Hamilton, Superintendent of Stamford Public Schools. Dr. Hamilton and the Stamford Board of Ed have been instrumental in this partnership and are providing support for our recruitment efforts. Thank you, Winnie. Our gratitude to our colleagues at the Department of Construction Services, Commissioner DeFranzo and Deputy Commissioner Salemi and his staff. Thank you for working so closely with the Technical High School on this project. A special recognition to the architect, Northeast Collaborative CHA Engineers, the construction manager at risk, KBE Building Corporation, and the construction administrator, Turner Construction Company. I also want to acknowledge representatives of the State Vocational Federation of Teachers, Jan Hockadell, Ed Levy, who are with us today, and Brian Bisson. And a special recognition to the technical high school staff, my staff who's here today. You really are making this project a reality day by day. Thank you all. I will now make some remarks about the significance of the school and then turn it over to some of our guests before we break out the shovels for the ceremonial groundbreaking. At the end, I would like you to join me for a light reception. We have some delicacies from Wilcox Tech culinary program here today. Today, we take an important step toward the creation of a career and technical education school that will have a transformative effect in the Stamford community and in the southwestern region of the state. The construction project entails a complete renovation of the existing facility and new entrances in the north and south elevations. Renovated spaces will include a gymnasium, office and administrative areas, classrooms, lab areas, kitchen, cafeteria, media center, and a tiered lecture hall. After completion, the facility will be approximately 200,000 square feet and will have 200 on-site parking spaces. A new roof is also being installed. The building will be LEED certified upon completion. It is important to note that all of our technical high schools are instrumental in addressing workforce and education needs across the state. But let me tell you why J.M. Wright is so vital to the vision that we have for technical education across the state. For the first time, students will have an opportunity to embark on a career pathway and a program of study in a technical field that aligns with post-secondary education and leads to an associate degree or post-secondary certificate for employment. Our goal is to provide dual credit and dual enrollment for all of our 11th and 12th grade students. In essence, we will be setting the stage here at J.M. Wright for a grade 9 through grade 14 career academy. This will be the first model in the state of Connecticut. This certainly would not be possible without the unwavering support of Dr. David Levinson, President of Norwalk Community College, and for that, we are sincerely grateful. Thank you to Maura Lyons, Director of Community Development, for representing Norwalk Community College here today. We also acknowledge the support of Dr. Gray, President of the Board of Regents, and Gail Coppage, Director of Innovation and Outreach for the Connecticut State Colleges and Universities. Our goal is to have a coordinated effort with the community colleges that maximizes students' opportunity for learning. Wright Tech will certainly exemplify that. Wright Tech will also be unique in that it will have a technology-rich environment with one-to-one computing and digitized curriculum that will support a personalized learning environment tailored to students' career choices with opportunities to learn from global partners and industry leaders. The curriculum will have a rigorous STEM focus designed around science, technology, engineering, and mathematics that will engage students in rich STEM learning, set high expectations for their participation and performance, and prepare them for the competitive and ever-changing global labor market. Most importantly, the school will capitalize on the thriving economic development of the region and the new business partners that have established a base here in Stamford to afford our students with internship and employment opportunities. This school will be an incredible asset for Stamford, and we are committed to ensuring that it is a success and a flagship for the district. There is much more to say about the unique and innovative instructional model at Wright Tech and the remarkable programs it will house. But I will stop here to let others speak. I will simply say that we are very excited and look forward to fall 2014 when we have an entering class of approximately 144 students, and I know that I will have the pleasure of seeing each and every one of you then. Gracias. It is now my privilege to introduce Mr. Robert Perfy, Chairman of our board.
Thank you, Dr. Torres. It's wonderful to be here on a rainy day in Stamford. As you said, you never know what's going to happen. My experience has been if you get a good rainy day or something like that, it means it's going to be off to a wonderful start. And I think we're off to a wonderful start here in Stamford. It's great to be back. It's great to have a school back here in Stamford in the southwest corner of the state. They're joining the family again of the other 17 schools across the state. There are wonderful students in all those schools, and the students now in Stamford will have an opportunity to participate in that, getting both career and academic education. Many people don't know that about half of the students who graduate from the technical schools across the state go on to college, either a 2-year school or a 4-year school. And working with Maura Lyons and the Norwalk Community College, we're setting up pathways, as the superintendent said, to have students in the school be already essentially enrolled in community college before they finish, and knowing exactly what they need to do to complete their community college degree and then go on for 4-year college if that's what their desire before they finish school. So I really appreciate the fine work that the Norwalk Community College is doing and the collaboration with them. There's been great interest on the employer community, and we're really excited about that, to be able to have work places that some of our students can get experience in the community before they leave school, and also working closely with the schools in Stamford and the surrounding communities, both in recruitment as well as education. So this is really an extension of what happens there. The other thing that most of you don't know is, although we're struggling statewide in the graduation rates, that the technical high schools in the state of Connecticut have a 95% graduation rate. The student comes here and applies himself, they're going to graduate. They're going to have a diploma, they're going to have a career laid out that they can go into and be ready for college if that's their choice. So we're really excited to be here and to be able to offer that to the students of Stamford and the greater Stamford area. Thank you for coming today.
Next up, our colleague from the Department of Administrative and Construction Services, Mr. John Kavakis.
Good morning, and thank you for letting me speak. I'm an assistant director at the Division of Construction Services. Welcome to the J.M. Wright construction site. I'm here because my commissioner and my deputy commissioner, Commissioner DeFranzo and Deputy Commissioner Salemi, are taking care of important business back in Hartford. And all I really want to do is introduce the team that's out here working day to day to get this project done on time. It's a $56 million construction project. We're doing it in 13 and a half months, which is extremely aggressive. We're going to be completed by the spring of next year. And first I want to introduce our client, Al Richmond, who's our representative, our agency representative, and Nivea Torres, who you've already heard from. Our construction manager at risk is the KBE Building Company. And if you don't mind, just give a little wave or spin your umbrella. Mike Polakowski, Ken Russo, Tony Maselli, Bob Smedley, our superintendent, James Brenia, our project manager. For our construction administrator, Turner Construction, we have Randy Hurst here today, Peter Zanis, Bill Rosso, Larry Ho, and Maya Powell. Our architect, Northeast Collaboratives, Ray Giolito's with us today, John Scheib, Justin Tebow, and last but not least, our own in-house people from the Division of Construction Services, our project manager, Lisa Humble, who really brought this project through the design phase in a really accelerated schedule for that too, and Dennis Tovey, who is our project manager for our construction phase, and he's got work cut out for him. And that's all I really want to say. Thank you very much for the time.
I'd like to now introduce someone who has become a friend of the district, a close partner, Jack Conlon, president of the Stamford Chamber of Commerce. Jack, thank you.
Good morning to everybody. I'll keep it brief because it is raining, right? My name is Jack Collin, the president of the Stamford Chamber of Commerce, but also, too, I had the distinct pleasure of serving as the chairman of the ad hoc committee approximately 10 years ago. I have to acknowledge my fellow member, Al Sansaverino from CamSam Electric. We were able to, within a 6-month period of time, take an idea of how we're going to get the school open and turn around and convert it to a very comprehensive plan that is now coming to fruition today and is on schedule to open next fall. So we're extremely excited about that. Welcome back to Stamford, Governor. It's always a pleasure to have you come back, and especially for things such as this, and that's even better. So we're really excited about that. And also to have to acknowledge the Connecticut Technical High School staff, all of their work, because they didn't let the project slow down. And Nivea, I have to thank you because you kept this project going forward. And I'm actually looking very much forward to next fall when we're doing a ribbon cutting ceremony here at this school. And our goal is that Wright Tech will become the flagship for technical high schools for the state of Connecticut. So thank you very much.
It is now my distinct honor to welcome to the podium the Commissioner of Education, Stephen Pryor.
All right, good morning. This is a very, very exciting day, and when the governor introduced the Education Reform Act of 2012 to the legislature, it was a big bill. The omnibus piece of legislation included a number of the reforms that we're carrying out statewide, including investments in early childhood education, statewide teacher and leader evaluation, investments in the Common Core, new state standards for Connecticut, the turnaround of low-performing schools. Less noticed, but equally important, was a dramatic statement about the technical high school system. Governor Malloy proposed that we create a new governance structure where there would be a dedicated board of directors that would present a new strategy working with its superintendent for this system. Well, you've already heard from Bob Trefry, and you can tell the energy that's been injected into the system as a result of his chairmanship and the entire board that the governor and our stakeholders and partners have created. You've heard from our superintendent, Nivea, who is doing an exemplary job in carrying on the tradition and deeply enhancing it of greatness in our system, really taking it to the next level. There are terrific things in store. The partnership with the SVFT has never been stronger, Jan. Thank you so much, and to all representatives thereof. There have been bumpy moments in the past, but under Nivea and Jan, we are in a new era where, frankly, on several of the fronts I just mentioned, the reforms that are being carried out statewide are being implemented in an exemplary fashion in the technical high school system. And then there's the notion that we can do wonderful new things in our physical facilities. And one of the things that Bob and Nivea have driven towards is making Wright Tech a true standout in our system, that from the get-go it be a model. And there's much more in store, much more we'll have to say going forward about what will be contained within, but you can already see that the school itself is taking shape. And what does this school represent? This school represents $90 million of opportunity. It represents 200,000 square feet of possibility for our students. We talk a lot about the importance of ensuring that our young people are prepared for college and career. But sometimes that second half goes less noticed. The idea that students must, in increasing numbers, choose college because the careers of the future require it, but that we must also ensure that there are workforce skills that our young people acquire along the way. And the technical high school system embodies that. Wright Tech will embody that. You know, education reform is not for the faint of heart, and achieving progress in the education system isn't easy. I want to tell you what a pleasure it is and what a privilege it is to work with Governor Malloy in this process. You know, there was a bit of controversy initially surrounding the Education Reform Act of 2012. It was a lot. There were a lot of components. It asked a lot of all of us, but the governor has fought for every principle and has ensured, equally importantly, has ensured that every dollar we need is there, working with the General Assembly, which has demonstrated incredible commitment to public education in this time of belt-tightening and ever greater efficiency. So we are so grateful, Governor, for your continuing commitment. And let me tell you one last thing as I introduce our great governor. You know how high on the list Stamford is to this governor. And he has made it clear time and time again what import this particular project has, as has one of his appointees who now is unfortunately lost to us, the late Ellen Kamhai, who was a member of the State Board of Education, who at every single meeting reminded us of her dedication to the Wright Tech project in particular, and of the governor's commitment to this project. Governor, we thank you from the bottom of our heart for all of your commitment, especially on this project. I give you the governor of our state, Dan Malloy.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Now listen, I'm going to try to cover a lot of ground very quickly. It's obvious that all of the folks in the contracting side are smarter than all of the politicians on this side, because they got under the tree and left you guys out hanging out here. So give you guys some points over there. And of course, I'm standing and getting rained on. So let me do a couple things. Number one, this is an important day in Stamford's future. The reality is the school never should have closed. never should have been allowed to deteriorate to the extent it did, and this project should not have languished waiting for a new governor. There had been a commitment made that this project would go forward. When I got to where I was as governor, it was nowhere. We had to restart the program, get it going, and at the same time we entered into new relationships with folks like Norwalk Community College, a great educational institution that I very much wanted to see play a major role on this campus, tying the students in the 9 through 12 grades with the possibility of getting college credits while they're in high school. This is extremely important. I wanted to make sure that the city of Stamford was tied to this program. That's why I asked Winnie Hamilton to play a role and to get on board and help us lay out our future. I wanted to make sure that the business interests were being protected and consulted. Mr. Sansaverino and I have known each other for a long time, former Citizen of the Year, I might add. But he cared deeply about this school based on his experiences here, but also understanding that we need to produce a human product necessary to meet the needs of this broader community. So this has all worked out well. Chamber of Commerce, thank you very much. We got a local official, actually we got 2 people running for mayor here. One was introduced, my classmate from West Hill High School, but David Martin from the Board of Finance also joins us. This is important stuff. Getting education right is extremely important. We weren't doing it for a long period of time. We are doing it now. Just this last year, high school graduation rate increased by 2.3%, an unprecedented amount of increase in a single year. How are you? Another friend from Greenwich who didn't get introduced. This is important stuff. When you look at what we're trying to do, and Stefan's trying to do on a preschool through 12 basis, Maura and the higher education folks from the Regent system doing it in our regional universities and our community colleges, UConn doing it. What we're finally trying to do is make sure that our educational offerings in this state are aligned with the business requirements, the human capital requirements of our state. It wasn't happening before. We weren't producing the right product. We weren't graduating enough of our students. We weren't making enough progress. This is a down payment on a very different future for the technical high school system, for all of our high schools, for our community colleges and higher education. We're going to get this right. We're going to win this battle. We're going to grow our economy. We're going to add jobs, and this is an investment that allows that to happen in the future. I'm very happy, and if you can't tell, excited to be here. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right.